Hello and welcome to the Know It Some podcast. I'm your host, Steve Platt, and I know it's been a while since our last episode, but starting in June, we're going to bring you a fresh episode every week with a new guest. Everybody has a different perspective. We all have our own journeys in life, and I think it's great to know a little bit and learn a little bit from others through this podcast. It's why I started it, because while no one likes to know it all, it's always good to know it some. My next guest is Pat Lee. Pat Lee is an NFL veteran who played for the Green Bay Packers, among other teams. He's a Super Bowl champion. He was second-team All-SEC for Auburn and a second-round draft pick in the 2008 NFL Draft. I had a lot of fun recording this interview. We had a lot of laughs, and I think you'll really enjoy it. Without further ado, here's Pat Lee, Episode 3. Pat Lee, how you doing?
Steve, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. Not much. I just put the baby down for a nap, so got some free time to talk, and it means a lot because I know time's money. So
Always. Hey, man, just put the baby down. How old?
She's 9.5 months, and it's our first. So,
Man, congrats, man. I got one on the way.
Congratulations.
Yeah, May 3rd.
You know, May 3rd. So do you guys already know the gender then, right?
So we're doing a little surprise. So,
okay.
Yeah. This is our third one. This is my third one, so she's trying to do a little surprise.
So you have two girls, or?
So I have a girl and a boy.
Man, you got one of each. That's what I'm hoping for. We're trying to wait another year and see what happens, but yeah, we're definitely learning as we go. You're probably an expert at it now, but for us, every little thing is, you got to Google it or ask the doc. So but it's a challenge. It's fun. She's now like crawling and waving and doing all that fun stuff. Each day something new.
I think I forgot all my stuff, man. I think I forgot all my little baby knowledge. I don't know what I'm doing now, man. I can't believe I'm starting all over again, but it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
That's true. That's true. So you probably don't remember this, but your senior year of high school at Columbus, I was a freshman, and you know how it is. You're a freshman in high school. You don't really know everybody and everything, but you were like always one of those upperclassmen that was always cool with everybody. It didn't matter. You know what I mean? It didn't matter if you were on the football team or who it was. You were always just really cool with everybody.
Yeah, man. I stay that way. I try to stay that way.
That's the way to be. And I was waiting for, because I didn't drive freshman year, so I was waiting for a ride home one day after school, and I'm hanging out with like one other friend, and he leaves, so I'm alone. And you and a buddy were there, and I think it might have been like after track practice or something. But for whatever reason, you decided to try to jump over a car, and I watched you jump over a car. And that's like one of the memories I have of you from high school is I literally watched you jump over a vehicle. I knew you were a big track star. I knew you played football. And then there was that little dust up that happened that year because of I guess you were at Homestead or whatever before. But like, I thought of you as like this big time track star, and then next thing I know, you're playing SEC football at the highest level. You know what I mean? Like, and so I always like to support and cheer for and root for in any sport the Columbus guys. You know what I mean? And being at UF, I was a student there for a couple years before I joined the Marine Corps, and so like I would frequently have to like balance like rooting for you to have a good game, but for us to win, and I did not always win out on that equation.
Man, that's funny. I appreciate the services, joining the military, and it
was an honor, man. It was awesome. It was really one of the best experiences that you could imagine, being able to travel and serve your country.
That's great, man. That's
great. But you ran track in high school. I remember I think you like won state in like long jump or something like that.
Yeah, I won state in long jump in my last year, my senior year. Yeah,
that's amazing.
I should have did track more though. I should have did track more at Columbus.
Well, what brought you over to football? Like, what pushed you in that direction? How did you get started playing football? Because I think and correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard your mom was like a track athlete, wasn't she?
Yeah, my mom ran track for Jamaica before she got pregnant with my brother, my
Got
older
you.
brother. and then that story just went left after that. But yeah, I mean, she got her track legs and stuff. My daughter got her legs right now, but
Roger that.
Track was always there. It was always something for me that was just racing, like especially growing up down in Miami. Around my block, around the area where I lived at, we always raced in the streets and stuff like that. It was always a challenge. And that's where I got my jumping from too, where people will look at things like, man, I could probably jump over there. I'm like, man, I could do it, you know? And I was the one that always just did it. I didn't have no fear, you know? So with football came to me. I remember one time my dad is a Dolphin fan, and he was watching the Dolphins game, and I was probably like 6 or 7.
Got you.
And I had the football in my hand. I always had a football in my hand for some reason. A ball, period.
Right.
So watching the football, and I was just tossing it in front of the TV.
Pat, I think you might have hit mute or something. You there?
Closes out. I think.
Okay, I think so, maybe.
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay.
I'm sorry, man. I'll keep it quick though.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Now I know. Because every time it closed out, it went on mute. So, but yeah,
all right.
I was watching it with my father and stuff, and I was throwing the football in front of the TV, and I told him I'll do it one day. I'll be able to play in the NFL. He was like, "You got to work hard for that, man." I was like, "I could do it. I'll be there."
And then, but you know how many kids say that for like, I don't know how many different sports. You know what I mean?
I know, man. It's crazy.
Like growing up, I was convinced I was going to play Major League Baseball. Like you couldn't tell me otherwise. But to play at that level, right? There's so the way I see it is most of these athletes at that level have God-given ability.
Yep.
But like very few of them, and I would say almost none of them get there without extreme hard work.
Yes.
Like you have to put in a tremendous amount of hard work and practice. And I think until the Marine Corps drill instructors like woke something up in me, I didn't have the kind of, you know, hard work, dedication, and perseverance to compete at that level.
Yeah.
And that's something that clearly you must have had. And it seems like you didn't really have much of a doubt that, you know, you knew you could do it.
Yeah,
and so,
that's what it was. I knew I could do it. And the thing was, you know, some kids now in high school or whatever back then too at the time, they was having fun. I think I was having fun, but I knew I had to get down to business. So like,
got you.
So like, even though I know I said I wanted to play football, I was going to play in the NFL and stuff like that. There was one story that I could really tell you that just did it for me. Like, I know I told my dad that like I could play in the NFL. I just told you that story, and that was like the first thing that came to my mind because that was the first time I said it. But there was one time where my cousin Dentron Johnson, he played for South Dade High School, but he played Little League football. Right? So he played Little League football, and I remember I was 7 going on 8 years old, right? And he stayed in the projects or whatever at the time. And we went over there. We went over there, and I remember we were staying at it. We were just chilling over there at his house. My parents was talking to his mom and stuff like that and whatever. And he was like, "Man, I got something to show you." So I was like, what you got to show me? He was like, "Wait right here outside my door. I'm coming right back." So he comes back with the helmet on, shoulder pads on, and thigh pads. And Steve, when I tell you I lit up like a damn the sun, I was so, oh my gosh, what is that? I didn't know what pads or all that stuff was. I just, thought football I could play football because I was a kid.
Right.
But when he came out in those pads,
it might as well have been in like an Avengers suit or something. Like you're a superhero
all the way. Like, dude, he made my day when he did that. I destroyed my mom after that. I have to play football. I destroyed her, so I had to play football.
It had to happen. Now, but did you start off on the defensive side of the ball, or did you play a different position when you were younger?
So let me hit you with it, Steve. This is why I'm getting to it. So my family is Jamaican.
Right.
Right? And I'm the only one that played physical football.
Gotcha.
They played other football. They played soccer. So I'm the only one that played football.
When you say you want to play football, they're like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, they grab the soccer ball. I'm like, no. I need the pigskin. I need the other one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I was the only one. So
that's funny.
My mom eventually signs me up for Palmetto Optimist Little League football team down there in Miami. So I sign up. I go out there. I got my little do-rag on. I think I'm Deion Sanders and this and that. Nobody knows about me. Nobody knows about my anything like that. Nobody knows any history. And like, you got to have history down there in Miami to be the man.
Right.
So like, if you're
it's a hotbed of talent.
Exactly.
Right? It's not like you're playing in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly. So like, if they don't know you, you're not gonna play those best spots. Man, they stuck me right at center and nose guard.
You're kidding me.
Man, I played center and nose guard all the way up to when I was 15 years old, man.
That's crazy. So what? So high school was the first time that you were in the backfield.
First time I was in the backfield. I played quarterback when I got there to Columbus.
That's crazy.
Then I played running back. And then I played a little receiver. I didn't have good hands, but they figured I could run with people. And I said I could cover anybody. Whoever wants to go out at wide receiver and try to catch the ball on me, I bet you can't. And that was just the competitive side of me. And then eventually I ended up turning real good for me. So
that now you've always kind of been competitive then. That's just like something that's in you.
Super competitive, because I did all sports. I mean, I wasn't just locked in on football. Like I said, I grew up with a ball in my hand. So I played basketball. My brother played basketball. So I definitely played basketball to try to beat him. It wasn't nothing about just going on to the NBA or getting to college. It was just to beat him. And then, so the funny thing is, hold on. You can go ahead and ask. You can ask more questions. I don't want to talk.
No, it's all right. What's the funny thing is?
All right, so I played Little League football, right, all the way up to like 15. You know, they don't have middle school football down there in Miami and stuff. So I went to Cutler Ridge Middle, and man, I was outside one day on the basketball courts early in the morning, and I was in some jeans with my book bag on, some t-shirt with some boots, little Timberland boots. My brother Timberland boots, matter of fact.
I didn't know you were from New York.
I used to live there. We lived there a couple of years. I lived in East Brooklyn.
That's where you got the boots.
Yep. So I'm out there on Cutler Ridge Middle School basketball courts, and I was just playing around. And I was like, man, I could dunk that basketball goal. I could dunk it. And it was like, no way. Man, I went up there and dunked it with one hand. And the security guard saw me. Her name is Griffin. She was like, OMG, do that again. Like, I could do it again. I could do it anytime I want. And so I did it again. I dunked it. She was like, you playing basketball? I was like, I don't play basketball. She was like, you're playing basketball. No matter what, I'm going to get you playing basketball. And then next thing you know, she talked to my mom, and I was out there playing basketball. Mind you, I was the horrible basketball player.
Sounds like me on the soccer field.
I could jump like crazy. I could move fast and play defense. But
you're shooting bricks.
Exactly. I cannot make a damn shot to save my life. But there was one thing about that story about Miss Griffin hooking me up or putting me on the basketball team. That's how I got into Columbus.
Oh, no kidding. It was for basketball?
It was for basketball. So
I would have never
Nobody would. Nobody would.
That's amazing.
Nobody would.
That's amazing. Well, they just probably figured, like even if you're shooting bricks, like you're getting rebounds, you're defending, you know what I mean?
Was
like
that player that I'm not going to showcase no damn shots because I can't shoot.
Yeah, but nobody can shoot on you though. So that's it kind of evens out.
Yeah. So
what
we did my 8th grade year at Cutler Ridge. I played on a lot of basketball teams. I got a little better. I ain't gonna lie. I got a little better in basketball because I was playing with my brother, and then I was just working at it. I was just like, I have to get better. That's the competitive side of me.
And that kind of pushed
exactly. You. So I'm playing Nike League, POW League, all types of leagues. And one day, Miss Griffin was like, "Hey, let's go to Columbus. We're gonna do a little showcase." I want my little Nike team to play against their varsity high school varsity team. I think Andres Fonseca was there at the time. Not Fonseca, but Alfonso, something like that.
Yeah,
he was a great basketball player over there. So we played against them. Man, I probably had at least 4 or 5 dunks.
And how old are you at this time?
Oh, probably like 15. Probably 15 at the time. 15. It had to be. It had to be 15. 15 going on 16. So, right? Is it that age?
Around that age. Yeah. So, freshman year, you were probably 14, 15 years old.
Yep, around that age. So, yeah. So,
you're not even done growing up.
Not at all. You know not at all. So I'm dunking. I'm getting fast breaks. I'm stealing the ball. Like I'm playing against them like they're just regular kids like my age. But that's the varsity team.
They're all older than you.
Every single one of them. And that was the day when everybody was like, "Yep, we need this kid."
But that all stems from that whole like, I bet I could probably do that. I bet I could probably beat my older brother. Like, you know what I mean? It's that competitive attitude that I saw that day where you're like, I bet I could jump over that car.
It's the mindset, man. I'll go after it. Like I even tell my kids, it doesn't matter who's in front of me. I don't care what kind of superstar you are or whatever. I'm gonna compete.
Right.
I'm gonna compete to the level that I'm gonna try to stop you. I don't care. I don't care if it's LeBron James in front of me. I'm in my head. I could beat him in basketball. That's how I feel.
Right.
That's how I feel if I step on the court with him. But that's how I take everything. So, yeah.
Got you. Now, we had at Columbus a lot of people graduate before you and I that went on to the NFL and into coaching and stuff. Probably some of the people your dad used to watch, like Mike Shula and Brian Griese and all that. But then, a little later, like you had Alonzo Highsmith and all that. So there's a lot of talent come out of there. And, just this last year, a number 1 draft pick, C.J. Anderson, Florida Gator. So the school has this incredible athletic background, not just in football, but in baseball and other sports. While you were at Columbus, were there any coaches or any teachers that made an impression on you? Anything that you remember about Columbus that you still kind of hold near and dear? Because I have seen you out at some of the Columbus games. I saw you in Orlando when we lost the championship a number of years back. I was trying to get you to go into the game because they had a kid on a Popka that had to be twice my size. And so I figured they could slap a helmet on you and no one would know. But yeah, I mean, I've seen you, it seems like you still support the school and everything. Is there a particular coach or teacher that you still remember?
Oh man, I remember most of the guys, but the coaches and all, like I still, try to talk to Trujillo and stuff like that. But the thing that stands out most for me was Jason Hill. He like I had little issues when I was growing up down in Miami and stuff like that. My parents had problems here and there with my dad and stuff like that. And one thing about Jay Hill, he was always there supporting me. He was always around helping me out and stuff like that. I spend the night at his house. Sometimes I went to school from his house. His mom and his stepdad took senior pictures for me for basketball. Not senior picture, junior pictures, I think, or the last night pictures or something like that for the basketball players they're in my pictures with me.
Wow.
Not my parents. My mom was working and my dad was locked up for a while at the time. So
Right. And so it really was. I mean, when you talk about like a Columbus brotherhood, like that really is like a brother. Like he was
yeah,
there
he
for
was
you.
there for me,
You know.
and I needed that, and I love him for that. Him, Mitch Fonseca, a lot of those guys, man, they was there for me. And, I stayed like
That's
damn
awesome.
near 40, 30 minutes away. So it was kind of hard for me trucking up there all the time or doing certain things.
I bet. I bet. Yeah. Columbus finally won the state championship a little over a year ago, which is phenomenal to see. And one of the guys on that team, Xavier Henderson, CJ's younger brother, he's now playing D1 for the Gators and doing good things. And I think good things are ahead for that school. But for you, when you were going there, what was college recruiting like? Like, you ultimately chose Auburn. But who else did you do any other official visits or what was that like?
Yeah, so I had all Florida schools, but I needed to get out of Florida at the time. I'm just being honest. I need to get out of Florida.
Yeah,
and really, tell you the truth, Florida was going through their ups and downs, and Florida State just started going through their ups and downs.
We switched out the coach.
Yeah, exactly. So it wasn't a spot for me that I didn't feel, and I just needed to get out of Florida. So I had some.
But I think you had Georgia, right?
NC State, Auburn, of course. I was supposed to go to Michigan State, but the guy told me, I forgot, it was Mr. C. I think he was like a booster or something like that. But but he told me he was gonna get me some leather jackets and stuff like that. Flying out there to Michigan State. I was like, what we need leather jackets for? He was like, it's -11. I was like, freezing. That's my last conversation with them. So like,
that's why you stayed in the South.
I'm not playing in no -11, man.
So you need to get out of Florida. You visited Auburn. Did you go to Georgia?
Yes.
Did you
take
I
took a visit to NC State and I took a visit to Georgia. I like Georgia visit a little bit. They wanted me to play safety. Oh, I also went to Rutgers too. Rutgers was high on my list at one point because they was a real good school, and Cristobal went there. Mario Cristobal.
Yeah,
he was.
Yep. He's doing great things.
He's the head coach at Oregon, but he was the assistant coach over there with Greg Schiano at the time, and they was recruiting me heavy at Rutgers. They wanted me to play running back. They wanted me to play running back. Michigan State too. They wanted me to play running back, and I was
I think the route you went worked out way better
for me.
You had a great career at Auburn. You know the game that I want to talk about. You know exactly what I want to talk about.
Steve.
That hurts so much, man. You have no idea. I was so happy for you, but at the same time, I was like, man, it has to be Pat that's doing this to us.
It was every year I had something
big moments against the Gators every year. And that one game, it was like our first of all, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was our first loss that year. We were undefeated that year. We had just come off the national championship the year before. We won it the following year in 2008 against Oklahoma. And that was the year that Tebow had his Heisman run. And I think the game against you was the least amount of touchdowns that he scored in that Heisman season. He threw an interception that you caught in the second half that led to some points for you guys. It was rough.
Yeah, I had my number on against him. I had my number against him.
But how did that feel playing, in the home state? I know you said you had to get away from Florida. Here you are coming back to your home state. You're in the swamp and you're having, like, I mean, honestly, man, in my opinion, the game of a lifetime. Was there extra motivation, because you were in Florida? I mean, what was that game like?
Dude, Steve, that game was amazing, man. Coming back to Florida, of course, I gotta show out for the hometown.
You were facing Andre Caldwell and Tim Tebow, and in my opinion, probably the best player to ever be in a Gator uniform and Percy Harvin. You know what I mean? And you had like big plays on pretty much all of them. So did you recognize at the time the level of talent that you were competing against? You talk about how competitive you are. You're in the SEC and you're playing, the defending national champs and the Heisman frontrunner. I mean,
Dude,
did that dawn on you?
Muschamp
is
the game? One that let us know everything, right? And the way he does it, he does it in a way like, hey, number one, that Harvin dude, that mother is a beast. Y'all prepare yourself. Like, so he goes down the list of every single player like that. And he even talked about Cam Newton in defensive meeting. He was like, dude, he came in one time. He was like, man, all right, guys, we got Tim Tebow. Yeah, we're gonna play against him. He's the guy. But this mother behind him, Cam Newton, this MF, oh, we gotta watch out for him. We gotta prepare for him. So we prepare for him as well.
Yep.
So when
I still got PTSD when I look at laptops. Man, we lost a good one there, and he went to y'all.
Sure did. He went to us. He damn sure did. He only did a semester.
But, dude, he's like the fourth Heisman winner that we had. You know what I mean? But we can't really count him though.
Man, dude, it was amazing. It was amazing. Like Percy had some good. He had one good catch on me on the sideline where he mossed me. There was another one where he caught on me. That was not my fault. I just want people to know that was not my fault.
You're not naming names.
I'm not gonna name no names, but it was not my fault. That was a great play by me because I was not supposed to be there. I just saw it.
Gotcha.
So they didn't score though. So hey, I'll take it.
I'll say this. Some of my fan base was unhappy with Muschamp as a head coach, but defensive side of the ball, he's really, really up there. And the way he gets fired up, like, man, I wouldn't mind him coming back as a DC.
He's the best D coordinator, man. Like, I went when I was at Auburn. I went through 3 D coordinators. I had Gene Chizik, David Gibbs, and then Muschamp. Me and Gene Chizik, we knocked heads a little bit because he wanted me to play right away, and I wasn't ready. Like, I was not ready physically or mentally. So I wasn't ready. And, he had one more year after that. We went undefeated in 2004. And then he left to Texas. He left, and David Gibbs came in for 1 year. David Gibbs, me and him, I played for him. I started first 5 games, and then we knocked heads after I got injured or my knee got messed up a little bit and I was getting shots, but I came back healthy and he didn't play me no more.
Right.
It was just something about that. And then Muschamp, so David Gibbs left and went to the NFL. Muschamp came in, and we knocked heads on the first.
I think we got the mute again.
Oh, no. Don't do that.
All right.
Locked on again.
I got you. So, no worries.
So
all right, you're back.
Me and Muschamp knocked heads and went after it a little bit. And man, when he came and spoke to me after we knocked heads and doing all that cussing, it was nothing but respect. It was not like he was my best friend after that. Like, I love him after that because
he just got a temper. I think he's misunderstood by the people that don't know him that didn't play for him.
Most definitely, because he explained to me why he got that way, and I understood all the way. And I'm like, dude, I'm gonna play my heart out for you now. Yeah, I'm gonna play my heart out for you now. Like,
you know what I mean? And the guys that play for him love him.
He takes care of you. He takes care of you, and I mean, probably David Gibbs do, and Gene Chizik does, because at the time, I mean, he had some Jim Thorpe winners, and then so Chizik he got an awesome resume. It's just we just never clicked. Me and David Gibbs ain't never, nah.
Yeah, no love lost there. When he left and Muschamp came in, I think that was a good thing for you and for Auburn. I mean, it got Muschamp the head coaching job at Florida after that, and then for you, I mean, you were drafted in the second round of
Yep.
the 2008
Yep.
NFL draft, right? That's not too shabby.
Not at
Second
all.
round
Not at
draft
all.
pick. What was that draft night like for you? How did it feel to get that call? Did you kind of know it was coming?
I kind of knew it was coming. A lot of people were saying I was going to go second round. I was disappointed in myself because I went into the combine and ran a 4.4. I haven't ran a 4.4 since high school. So, so that hurt.
You were wondering, yeah,
exactly.
You were wondering why you were so slow.
No, I'm so serious. Like I'm wondering why I'm so slow. Because the year before,
I know, but
the year before I ran a 4.29 on for Junior Pro Day.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got drafted in the second round, Mike Mayock, man, that's my dude right there. That dude knew I was going second round. Said when I got drafted, he was like, "Don't look at that 40 time. That guy is way faster than that 4.4." I said, "Yes, sir." At least he know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, they gotta know more than just those stats that come out of the combine. You know what I mean? They have to do their research. They have to look at film. And that, I think the good GMs and the good front offices, they do that research and they find like those gems, you know what I mean, that are falling a little later than they should in the draft, and they scoop them up. And I think they got a good one there in the second round.
It was an amazing moment, man. I was with my mom and dad. My Miss Griffin came over, the basketball coach that got me into Columbus. She came over. One of my cousins came over, but I'm not that dude. I'm more, I can say I'm humbling a little bit. I don't try to, try to do a little big party before a payday. Like I don't have nothing yet before I do anything like that.
You didn't have the car picked out?
Nothing yet. I'm not that guy, man. I seen some guys take a big fall after what they was doing, taking out a credit line and stuff like that, man. I was like one of those guys that like, I'll wait till I'll wait till it hits the bank before I start doing anything.
So then once you're with the Packers, you're now, I mean, you come from the SEC, right? Which is, in my opinion, the top conference in college football. I mean, top talent, top competition. But the NFL is the next level. Did you notice immediately the difference in the level of play?
Yes. What was different? What was different about it is that, let's see.
Was the playbook really different, or
you could
was
say
it the
speed and stuff
of everything?
Timing, alignment, everything. All that stuff is just a 10 times more faster. So it's just faster. Like you have to be on your P's and Q's and stuff. Like, when you're on the defense side of the ball in the NFL, you got a quarterback back there that's talking the whole damn time, changing plays, this and that. In college, it wasn't that.
Yeah.
He was looking to the sideline maybe to get the first play, or they already got their play. So it was all about, how fast can you process what's going on or get through this play, or how fast can you figure out what formation they're going to be in, or
right. It's not just the athletic ability to cover. It's
you got to be smart.
You gotta be smart.
That's what I noticed when I got to the NFL. I'm like, damn, it's not about speed all the time. Like, yeah, you got guys that are super fast, Tyreek Hill and stuff, but man, you got.
It's an intellectual game.
You got guys like Charles Woodson that played how many years? 18, 16 or whatever. He lost his speed probably after year 10. But that didn't stop him because he's super smart. He know where to be at. He know where the spot to be at, or everything like that. So it's all about the knowledge of the game even more. Like you got to have more knowledge of the game, and you got to understand it more, and just mentally prepare to be fast. Yeah. So it's dope.
Well, so Super Bowl 45. All right, you're a champion. And for somebody that has, such a competitive bone in his body, to be a Super Bowl champion, that's the top. Everybody's watching that game. I mean, people that don't even watch or like football are watching that game. For the halftime show or the commercial, the whole world's watching, and you're playing on the biggest stage. a couple of injuries where they really needed you to step up, and you did. I mean, you played, really well that game. So some big contributions. What's it like to play on that stage? Because you're growing up
Oh
watching
man,
Super Bowls,
playing on
right? Like
that
as a little kid.
stage. Oh, it's unbelievable. I know one thing, what I was saying the whole time, don't get beat deep, because everybody in the world is watching right now.
Yeah, the whole
So I
league's
made
watching.
sure I was
Everybody.
over the top, but man, it was a
Well, there are 30
watching,
teams sitting at home on their
watching,
couch watching too.
ready to say something, ready to judge you if something happened. But nah, every time when I go on the field, even for the Super Bowl and stuff, at that time it was trying to get my film out to all the rest of those teams. So my performance, I had to be on top notch, especially at a stage like that. It's easier for you to get on all the rest of the teams because they wasn't there that year. So you showcase your talent and you do it right, especially if you're a backup and you come in right on time when they need you and you do your job exactly what you need to do. Oh man.
So what's the bigger feeling? Is it coming out of the tunnel at Auburn in front of a stadium packed of college fans, or the Super Bowl? Because I know that Auburn can have some
was
pretty
freaking
intense
crazy.
home games.
Auburn was crazy, but I gotta tell you this story. When we played at Dallas in the Super Bowl, and Dallas has that little. We was the home team, and they have that little tunnel where everybody is sitting down and they could eat, and so basically you're walking through the tunnel while everybody is sitting down and eating. It's like a whole little lounge you're walking through. So when we walk through the lounge, man, you see Madonna, you see Alex Rodriguez, man, Jamie Foxx. We walk through like, what the hell is going on? Like, so it was super funny. When we ran out, everybody stopped in the lounge looking around at the celebrities. But the celebrities was looking around at us. So like it was vice versa.
Yeah. Yeah, they're there for you.
Yeah.
They're there for you. Madonna's there for you. You know what I mean? Jamie Foxx is there to watch.
And we
you
stopped
play.
in the tunnel to watch them. Like,
it's crazy.
So all you hear is security guards like, "Hey, get your behinds outside, man. You got a game."
Y'all trying to get autographs.
That was a great experience. Man. That was awesome. But the crowd is more electric and more involved than at Auburn in college. So
yeah.
It's just,
there's just something about that. I mean, I've talked to some former players for Florida, and they say the same thing. That they come to the swamp and it's a different environment. I think if you play in the SEC and you play for Alabama or you play for Georgia, or whatever, and you're playing in front of the home crowd, it's packed. There's just a different energy in college than a pro.
The loudest stadium I've been in.
I think a regular season game for you.
I've been in.
Sorry,
Tennessee.
Rocky
Top.
For real, Rocky Top.
It's quiet now.
It's kind of quiet now.
They was ranked number 2.
It's quiet.
They was ranked number 2 in the nation at the time. So
you can hear the crinkle. Yeah. It's we haven't had too much trouble with them ourselves, but they're going through it right now. But you guys now, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if you were a freshman. Wasn't there a year where you guys were essentially undefeated?
Yeah,
but
2004.
BCS rankings
that was when
kept
we
you
played
out
LSU twice. I mean, not LSU, but Tennessee twice. We played them regular season, beat them, and then SEC championship and beat them.
And they still kept. I mean, you win the SEC championship. That should be a guaranteed, spot. And you know what I mean?
We definitely got robbed. They gave it to USC. And they played Oklahoma and destroyed Oklahoma. I think it was that.
Yep. Yeah. It is what it is. I think you guys would have definitely won the championship had the BCS given you the shot. Now since leaving the NFL, you had an injury. You retired pretty much on top, man. I mean, because you had won a Super Bowl, you had done some great things, and I know that you had like little stints with like the Raiders and stuff. But once you left the NFL, I remember like you got into coaching at some point, some mentoring. How did it feel to pass on knowledge that you would acquired and experiences that you would acquire to like a next generation of young men
That's
who
all I
are
want
trying
to
to
do
do the
is
same
pass
thing
on that
you had
knowledge.
done?
It's a great experience for me doing that, because just to see how these guys listen or, focus on what I have to say because I made it to that certain level. They is open ears. And I have guys hit me up all the time. Hey, you want to watch film? You want to? Can we watch film? Can we do this? Can we do that? Can you watch this and let me know what you think about this and that? And man, I love it, man. I keep on doing it, and I tell those guys, keep on calling me. If you got any more people that need help, I'm here to help. So that's I love it. And
That's
go
awesome.
ahead. No, go ahead. That's awesome.
Now, sorry, I was gonna ask, like, what are you doing any of that right now? Like, what are you up to these days?
So I'm working.
What do you have planned ahead?
On the website with one of my boys named Jermaine Robinson. He works for Google, and we're working on this little website called TriStacks right now. We probably might change the name eventually, but we're on the last phase right now where I'm trying to tap into the sponsorship world. I'm trying to tap into the sponsorship world where I can get all athletes connected with companies or any businesses that's out there where they could sponsor their camp, or vice versa. They could sponsor wherever the company got's going on. And then also reaching out to these athletes, like the local heroes, like guys like that went to Auburn or Alabama like that. Because, Alabama and Auburn don't have, or Alabama period doesn't have a pro team. So you got a lot of local heroes, like especially the quarterbacks that played at Auburn or Alabama, where people would do anything to have autographs or see them sign autographs or talk or mentor kids or just come to public speaking or anything like that. We're trying to get that out more.
Absolutely.
We're trying to get that in the palm of everybody's hands instead of searching for, somebody on Instagram going down. We trying to get the ratings down right with these guys. This is the perfect guy for you to speak. This guy loves speaking. This person loves, demonstrating stuff. So stuff like that. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's awesome. And so where can they, if they're looking into it now, I know you said you might change the name, but
so
if they're
I
looking
have
into
a
it now,
landing
where
page.
can
It's called
people find that?
TriStacks, TryStacks.com. You can find the landing page is on there. You can sign up on there right now. We're almost done. We got one more phase left with the website. We're almost done, but you can see it on that landing page. What we got? What's the idea? What we got going on?
That's awesome. And then in terms of coaching, can schools reach out to you? Are you open to
schools
offers?
are reaching out and stuff,
but
right now,
not really?
my kids, man, my son just signed up on AAU basketball. I've been helping coaching that. So I got at least 8 or 9. Man, I'm telling you,
they roped you back into basketball.
But it's good because I helped them with the defensive side. I can't do no plays and none of that stuff. No shooting for them.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. No, you're their mushroom is what you are.
Perfect example.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Well, tell the listeners where they can find you on social media.
I'm
are you on Twitter? Are you on Instagram? What's
Instagram. Capital P.
Instagram.
Number 2, DALEE. P to the Lee. Yeah.
All righty. P to the Lee on Instagram. Pat, it was wonderful talking to you. I really appreciate you taking the time. I know time's money and everything, but you're always welcome to come back on if you want to promote anything. If TriStacks takes off and you want to come back and talk about it. I'm going to be growing this podcast week by week, so really appreciate it.
Awesome.
And
appreciate
I hope
Steve.
you have a good
Thanks, man.
good
This
day,
was awesome.
And that'll do it for this week's episode of the Know It Some podcast. My thanks to Pat Lee for taking the time to speak with us, and really to all of you who have liked, subscribed, and reviewed our podcast. It only serves to bring us bigger and better guests week after week. I haven't monetized the podcast or included any advertisements yet, and I don't want to do that anytime soon. But the only way that I can bring on bigger and better guests is to get those likes, those comments, those reviews, those rankings. It's really, really important. Please like, share this if you get a chance on any platform or on social media. It would really mean a lot, not just to me, but to the listeners, because it would enable us to get, like I said, more guests. We have a great lineup coming up, but I want to bring this each and every week. I want each interview to be exciting and interesting, and that's one way that you can help the podcast. So please make sure 5 stars if you feel it, and any reviews, and then send me any feedback. You can find me on Twitter at USMC Gator Vet, VET. Okay, USMC Gator Vet. Find me on Twitter, follow me, send me a DM, and I'll welcome any feedback whatsoever. But thanks again for listening, and until next time, this is the Know It Some podcast. I'm your host, Steve Platt.